So after 5 days of deliberations, a jury in New York found that the National Rifle Association was liable for financial mismanagement. They also found that Wayne LaPierre, the group's former CEO, corruptly ran the nation's most prominent gun rights group. The New York Attorney General's office sued the NRA and its senior management in 2020, claiming they misappropriated millions of dollars to fund personal benefits, including private jets, family vacations, and luxury goods. The accusations came at the end of a 3-year investigation into the NRA, which is registered in New York as a nonprofit charitable corporation. Wayne LaPierre was ordered to pay the powerful gun rights group $4.3 million in damages for mismanagement and misspending charitable funds. The lawsuit alleged that LaPierre filled executive positions at the NRA with unqualified loyalists in order to maintain control and conceal self-dealing, including co-defendants John Fraser, general counsel, and Woody Phillips, the former chief financial officer, the Attorney General's lawsuit said. The 3 of them stand accused of breaching the trust of donors by using charitable money for luxury travel, private planes, and 5-star hotels, along with entering into multi-million-dollar contracts with favored vendors willing to pay. Now, other purchases also allegedly included transactions like hair and makeup for LaPierre's wife. That's essential to organizational operations, of course. The jury found that he caused $5.4 million in damages to the NRA by violating his statutory duties, but he proved he already repaid a little over $1 million to the charity. They also found cause to remove LaPierre as executive vice president of the gun rights group. Although he resigned last month, the judge will decide whether to permanently bar him from leading the NRA in an upcoming bench trial. The jury did not find him liable for breaking laws against self-dealing when he secured a post-employment contract with the NRA in a package that the New York Attorney General's office valued at over $17 million, finding that it was properly approved in advance by the NRA board. Now, Cenk and Ramesh, I'm wondering, is this the end for Wayne LaPierre and the NRA, or is this just a slight misstep for them?
We might have millions of people watching this show, but you can be the difference maker, because we just need 1% of our audience to be paid members, and then this show can be around forever. So you can make that difference. Click join now. You know, I don't know. It sounds like he can't be at the NRA anymore, according to what happened in this lawsuit. But the reason I say I don't know is because right-wingers are a curious lot. They don't seem to mind fraud, even fraud where their own money is stolen. So you'll tell them about how Donald Trump committed fraud against the state of New York, and they're like, oh, that's awesome. And there's just a huge movement now in the right wing, whatever kind of movement there is in the right wing, to not do business in New York because they don't let you commit fraud. Okay, I think that that's generally a good thing, and I wish that they were more vigilant about that in a broader sense for a lot of white collar criminals, especially in New York. But overall, you're preventing fraud, whether it's Trump or, by the way, this is to protect the NRA. And so that gets to the second layer of it. If you tell like MAGA guys, hey, Trump's ripping you off, right? Maybe those gold sneakers aren't really worth $400. No, but by the way, that's up to you. Like, I don't care about the gold sneakers. You like them, you want to buy them, you want to help Trump, God bless, no problem at all. But there are other places where you give to Trump's charity, and then he buys giant paintings of himself, and you give to his campaign, and he's paid over $371,000 to Melania's stylist for consultation fees for just 1 year. And I've told that to MAGA people, and their reaction has been, oh, good. I'm glad, yeah, you know what? I gave him $25 and I could barely afford it. I didn't eat lunch that day, but I'm glad Melania looks beautiful. And I hope they could take my money and burn it in a fire, or go on another fancy vacation, or yeah, I love it, rip me off, right? So here they might be like, oh, he was ripping us off, and we love guns and Second Amendment and NRA, etc. And he used it to, get himself fancy suits, go on private jets. There's some chance the right-wing reaction is, attaboy, here's more money, please, go. I don't want to be on the jet. No, you go on the jet, and you go have tons of fun. So I don't like Ken Paxton in Texas. Other Republicans in Texas are like, no, this guy's clearly a criminal, and he's our attorney general. We got to do something about this. And he's ripping us off, the taxpayers of Texas. Trump came in and said, no, we like fraud. And they flipped and they're like, never mind, MAGA, because the MAGA base was like, oh, he's a criminal? Yes, then we like him, okay? And they saved his career. So I mean, you tell me, guys, you want to get robbed? That's up to you, but okay, if you do. So this might be a badge of honor for Wayne LaPierre. Like the New York judicial system found me guilty. That's gotta be like a really, they almost give you a trophy for that in right-wing circles.
Yeah, I think that's the key point, is how now law and the rule of law has become actually a political instrument. It's the rule of law itself has been perceived by many supporters of the former president, many supporters of the NRA, maybe even some supporters who are sort of claiming that Wayne LaPierre is innocent of such charges. It's being seen as the law as standing against the MAGA movement. But I have a word for all of you who are MAGA supporters here. You're all being conned by these corrupt elites. Even if you believe in gun rights, even if you believe in assault weapons not being banned, which actually the vast majority of Americans, including Republicans, believe in such being banned, or at least much stricter regulation controls, the people that are the faces of these organizations are corrupt. And this is actually very telling, because we have seen this, as you alluded to, Cenk, again and again, right? It feels like every time I'm on the Young Turks, we hear a story about insider corruption run by Republican elites, right? From insider trading, from multiple senators during the pandemic, to Giuliani, who we discussed last time, to Trump's sort of the determination that he owes a great amount of money, all these lawsuits, to the face of law, or one of the faces of law in this country itself, Clarence Thomas, being extremely corrupted by many of the same issues, to even Ben Carson's and so on back in the day. And I think this gets to one of the biggest issues, which is to me a systemic problem, which is that white collar crime and white collar criminals, guess what color most of them are, by the way, are rarely prosecuted and investigated, while disproportionately black and brown people are targeted by even systems of law. So all of us as progressives have critiques of unequal applications of the rule of law. But here, when the rule of law shows how the symbol of this terrible killing movement is actually so corrupted in and of himself, like he doesn't make enough money already, this is very telling. So I think the big question is, we got to get through to all of you brothers and sisters who are part of the MAGA movement. Follow the Utopias podcast too, because we're going to give you another path toward expressing your anger at the current system and finding another alternative. And that's what's up. That's what we got to do.
Yeah,
I think you appreciate that.
Yeah, I want to build off of that, because look, guys, this is a rare show where we're fair to MAGA. Like you just heard me say like, oh, you guys are getting played and they're robbing you blind, and you're thinking, well, you criticize me. What are you talking about? Where's the fair part, right? No, guys, first of all, I like it when they go after Democrats too, because why do I want Bob Menendez to steal my money and work for Egypt secretly? I don't want that, right? So I'm glad they went after Bob Menendez. Look, when they target people on ticky-tack stuff, whether they're MAGA or left-wing, I'm gonna get a little skeptical, right? Is it real? Did they actually do it, and is it significant? So when I see Cori Bush, for example, I go, well, they're private security, but then she used it for her boyfriend. Okay, that's a little bit of a problem. So let's look into it, right? So we're fair in that sense, and we don't want our money getting ripped off. I don't know why you do if you do, right? But most importantly, the part that we understand that the establishment does not understand is, you're not wrong about the unequal justice system. You're feeling, to Ramesh's point, you're kind of feeling what black people and minorities have felt in this country for hundreds of years. It's just a new feeling for you. Like you're like, wait, I don't get it. We have to follow the law, which, by the way, you should be happy if your leaders have to follow the law, but it feels like a lot of other people don't. And you're not wrong about that. So if you're talking about Wall Street in New York, how many fraud cases have been brought up against them? I could bring up, my guess is the tiniest little examination can get you dozens of cases on Wall Street, but yet they never examine Wall Street, because those are the people with real power. So you're not wrong about that.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, how long ago was the Madoff case, right? And how many cases like that have actually been successfully prosecuted since that point? And this all reminds me of the first time I met you, Cenk. I know it's a while ago. In 2011, I remember we had a coffee right next to the UCLA campus, and Cenk told me at that time, and I want to repeat this right now, we've got to get money and corruption out of politics if we're going to be a democracy. And I think you're going to say the same thing right now. I think you feel the same thing right now. You tell me.
Of course. And why did Bernie Madoff go to jail? And the only other case I can think of since Bernie Madoff was a Goldman Sachs partner who ripped off Goldman Sachs. Because the only crime you can't do is ripping off other rich people. Right, and by the way, Trump violates that sometimes, and that's why he gets in some trouble. But Bernie Madoff, the correct answer isn't, hey, you guys are being unfair because you're not going after fraud on Wall Street, so let's let Bernie Madoff off. No, let's not needlessly let Bernie Madoff off. Let's actually do our job when it comes to prosecuting white-collar criminals on Wall Street as well, and people in power as well. But the reason we don't do that is because of money in politics. Because they control all the politics.
Do y'all remember that book or even the movie Animal Farm by George Orwell?
Of course.
Napoleon the pig gets on the stage and says, all of us animals are equal, but some of us are more equal than others.
Yeah, so MAGA, we feel your pain on that. Progressives have felt that, minorities have felt that our whole lives. Yeah. But the answer isn't let our criminals go.